in Liberty Line. Truth cuts through the dark. A fireball on a mic, igniting every spark.
Welcome to Liberty Line, where morals and values live. I am Noreen Cantor, aka Fireball. Now let's welcome in Brian K. Pritchard, who is a great patriot and a great friend. Welcome, Brian.
Hey, Noreen, thank you very much. And it's great to be with you. I appreciate you doing this. You know, where two or more are gathered together. So I always encourage people, do this, get the word out, have the conversation. And I know I appreciate you. You have been a listener for a long time. And what I've always encouraged my audience to do is have the conversation. I think that's what's missing right now in America, in most groups, having a civil conversation. And so thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Whatever direction you want to go in, whatever we want to bring up, and for however long, I'm here.
Oh, you're sweet. I just want to say I miss you in the morning. My rides are not the same. I hope you come back.
Well, you know, can I address that very quickly?
Absolutely.
I mean, for those out there, I've given a couple speeches. Now, I myself was not in the hospital, but I spent basically the entire month of December in the hospital with my mother and my sisters and I, cousins and family friends, rotating shifts of staying with my mother. Diane is an amazing person. We've worked together for years. I had to be fair to Diane, and because I just needed to take some time off.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is doing good. Thank you for all the people that she's doing well. Thank you for all the people that have sent messages. But you know what? I can't come back. We are looking to start the Georgia Hour back. We are. But I don't want to put a date to that. So for those out there, I appreciate all the kind messages,
Mm-hmm.
Prayers, everything. Noreen, it's amazing how many people have sent me messages, and I appreciate that so much. So my mom is doing well.
Okay.
It's a long road to recovery for her, but that's what took my December and me being able to be on the air every day. So I had to focus. Now, another thing, and then I'll get out of the way for your next question. I also, with my wife and I have been talking for months. I want to focus on 2026 in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you this, I know you and I have been involved in politics in the same region. Now, I think they moved you over to the 7th. Are you not in the 7th now?
Yeah, I'm in the 7th.
Okay. Well, you used to be in the 9th. But I think that's where you and I met several years ago. But that being said, people are tired of hearing this is the most important election of our lifetime. But once again, I got to do it one more time. In Georgia, this is where, if we don't wake up right now, and I'm not here to criticize Republicans, I'm not here to attack Republicans, no way whatsoever. I am a lifetime Republican, but I'm limited government, fiscal conservative, constitutionalist. I mean, I'm a Republican. Right now, if Republicans in Georgia do not just tell the truth, handle it, deal with it, we could have a Democrat governor come November of this year. Very possible.
Yep, I agree 100% with you. So let's talk about why that could happen. I mean, our convention was a total disaster. I mean, you were there, I was there. It was a total disaster. It divided the establishment and the grassroots. So there is a big division in Georgia, correct?
Yes, I call it I say sometimes 4 lanes, when I say 4 lanes, but you know, I'm gonna answer your question, but I hear the media, you know, that presents to us, and we are the audience. I try to tell people every day, we are the audience. Don't forget. And what you want to do is entertain an audience to keep them engaged.
Right.
So quit watching Fox News and some of these networks thinking that they're set up to really bring you the truth. But going back to your question on our convention, you know, I heard so many people talk about, you know, Mondani in New York and Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. And the new thing they say about Democrats are Democrat socialist, right? Well, I'm not interested in angering anyone, but we have a lane in the Republican Party that's Republican socialist. And we just do. I mean, they are tied to the government. They're tied to government spending. They're tied to government grants. I mean, they're tied to the money that's coming from the federal government down to the state down to our local municipalities. And that is just pure and simple socialism. And we have people cheering. I mean, now to the convention, I say we have the one of our issues in Georgia. Let's say this for argument's sake, okay? David Cross ran for chairman of the Georgia Republican Party.
Yes, he did.
Now, according to their clicker calculations, and we'll just leave it with that.
Okay.
David got 30% of the vote. Okay. So let's just go with that for argument's sake. Let's just go with that. So I call it the 30%. Now 30% is a large voting block, and I call it the 30%. So I say Georgia has that 30%. Now what you got to remember, and we need to get into November, but take all the time we want. What we have to remember is David ran against, sadly, the president who endorsed Josh McCoon. He ran against MTG, who endorsed Josh McCoon. He ran against Burt Jones, who endorsed Josh McCoon. Shall I go on with the list a mile long that kept coming out and saying Josh McCoon is the guy that needs to lead the Republican Party of Georgia? Now, the Republican Party of Georgia is financially in very bad shape. Very bad shape.
Yeah.
Now they're getting ready to, for facts, for your audience, the Georgia Republican Party is getting ready to go through qualifying, which every state senator, every state representative, the counties, whatever, the statewide offices and the district offices, they're getting ready to get a financial shot in the arm. They're going to get a boost, but it's only going to pay the power bill for so long, you know, without some real serious fundraising. So right now, what is the word? Anemic. The Georgia Republican Party is on a lifeline financially. Democrats, and I think the chairman said it was a one-off election.
Yeah.
Democrats handed Republicans their keister in 2 public service commission races.
Yes.
Okay. Now, yes, they were off-year election races. Yes. And low turnout. Got it.
Yeah.
But if it's off year for them, and if it's off year or low turnout for them, for us, okay, so what you're saying is they did their job and we didn't do ours? I mean, every time I bring up the Public Service Commission offices that Democrats swept like 60-some%, 2 of them statewide against Tim Echols and another gentleman. That being said, every time I bring that up, well, it was the chairman said it was a one-off election,
Mm-hmm.
and it's low voter turnout, and so, well, wait a minute, but it was the same scenario for the Democrats. It was same scenario over there.
Yeah.
All right. So why are we saying it's a one-off? So what you're saying is we did not make a move to get our people out to vote to protect these two seats. Now, that being said, now that's another thing where our party's concerned. Now we have all these jungle primaries. All these jungle primaries. The Democrats have flipped one seat.
Yeah.
But several seats. In fact, the one down there in Macon right now, Democrats should not even have a chance at. Democrats should not even be in a runoff. Look at the seat that Mr. Dickerson just won up in Cobb and North Fulton County. Right? They shouldn't even be on the ballot generally. These are plus R, major plus R districts. But because of our jungle primary system. Now, here's another thing. And I just interrupt me when you want to change gears. But in the jungle primaries, I have personally begged for years. And this is a fact, okay? And I'm going to mention a name. Jungle primaries are doing nothing in Georgia but emboldening Democrats. I mean, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, they're getting them excited. Now, this goes back 2020.
Yeah.
But HB 587, introduced by, I know the controversial name, but I was actually at the Capitol supporting it at the press conference. HB 5757 from then Speaker of the House David Ralston would have ended jungle primaries, would have ended them.
Yeah.
And guess what? Brian Kemp come out and he said, I will veto it.
Mm-hmm.
I will veto it. Georgia House bill would eliminate jungle primaries for Senator who? Kelly Loeffler.
Yep.
All right. And that opened the door that we now have two Democrat senators. But going back to the jungle primary, look at the 53rd district, right? Is it 53rd or is which one is 53rd Colton Moore? Right?
14.
No, he's not state Senate 14.
Oh,
That's
state Senate.
No. State Senate. I'm sorry. We'll get to the 14th district in a minute. But look at that. Look at that one.
Yeah.
That the one that he is now a special election for state Senate seat 53. Special election down there in Macon that a Democrat is in the runoff. You see, Republicans knew this was coming down the road.
Yeah.
They knew that. They knew that certain people were going to resign or run for office, and they would get out of one race to get in another. But there was no planning on the jungle primary but excuses. And I have to tell you, the season that we're going through right now in jungle primaries is absolutely a disaster for Republicans. Now, they're going to get angry with me because they'll call me all kinds of names, and they might call me fat, and they might call me short, and they might just attack me, but they will not attack the content we're talking about today.
Absolutely.
Because it's the truth. And I'm here for Republicans, not attacking them. The jungle primary has made an absolute mess, and it's emboldened Democrats. Now, what else is happening? People across the country, whether you like those people from California, whether you like those people from those Democrat states, they're sending money to Georgia, to Democrats, to help them. So, I mean, the jungle primary in itself. So, We have a state party that I'm not for sure is ready for November. And I didn't come on here today to attack the state party, but I don't think they're ready for November. I have given 2 speeches here recently. I have offered to go all around the state, no matter, I need a little gas money. I need, maybe a little money to stop and get a sandwich. Seriously, but I'll get in the car and I'll go anywhere in the state and I'll show people facts and figures that really, really concern me coming up in November.
Yep.
I had to take a breather.
That's okay.
What made me think you would get me on here and get me all fired up?
That's all right, Brian. You just go on where you need to go.
Let me mention something here, because again, I've got all the data on jungle primaries. I'm absolutely tired. I will not carry a politician's water. And I'm watching that every single day right now. I'm watching, and I will not support political stunts. I have warned, the word I'm going to use, Noreen, is I have warned everyone out there that this legislative session will be packed, jam-packed full of legislative political stunts. And they're happening every single day. I can't count the numbers, but I won't get involved in them. I am absolutely tired of, as a real Republican, of people determining our candidates, determining who they want in office, and determining how controlling us.
Yeah.
And I have to say that because I'm not going to call foul language, names, nothing personal, but people will say, well, you just don't like Brian Kemp. No. That's got nothing to do with it. Okay. Brian Kemp, okay, the leadership in the Senate and John Burns in the House, they make the decision on who they're going to appoint. I'll give you a good example. We have an open seat in my district here for state Senate.
Okay.
Guy calls me up the other day and says, I'm thinking about running, all right, for this state Senate seat. And I really catch these people off guard. I get a lot of people call me, want to run for office. And it's America. If you want to go run, qualify and run, please do. I'm not discouraging you. But I get a call the other day, and an individual says, this happens all the time. They're thinking about running for a particular office, and they really get caught off guard when the first thing I say is, well, have they give you an indication? Have you gone to Atlanta for meetings? Or have you been chosen? Are you the one that was chosen from the House? Has John Burns said you're the guy? Has the leadership over in the Senate said you're the guy? Or has Brian Kemp said he wants you? Well, no. I said, well, okay. Guess what? They will do everything to destroy your candidacy. And then the next question I ask is, this is a state Senate seat. State Senate pays $23,000 a year. Okay. And a little bit of gas money. And the second question I have is, can you go and open a bank account and put $50,000 in it right now?
Yeah.
No, but I tell you what, I can get out there and pound the pavement. Well, sadly, they've taken pounding the pavement candidates' ability to win away from the people. They just have. All right. So that being said, I am tired of these people deciding who they want. I want the money. I want the money out of it. I want the lobbyist money out of it. I want these leadership PACs ended. I want the money out of it. I want your local insurance company, the guy that's got a little insurance company, and maybe he has $25,000. I want him to be out there, talk to the people, pound the pay, him or her, regardless. The local guy that owns your car wash. But if you're not able, look at Dickerson in that district. A $23,000 a year part-time position.
Right.
$1 million was spent on that to save it from a Democrat. $1 million for a state Senate seat.
That's ridiculous.
Now, I'm going to give you 3 examples. These are where I get in trouble.
Oh.
God knows I come on here to get in trouble, but I'm going to go for it. Okay.
Go for it, Brian.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I just want to return it to I have people when I go to grocery stores that'll whisper to me, because they can't say it out loud. They cannot say it out loud because of the political power stranglehold. You know, they might have contracts with the state, or they might have contracts and people could hear them and it get back to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I've had people stop me at the grocery store and say, you know, I've about had it with them down there. They're not Republicans. And these are not people that I know every day. Now, the 10th district, let's stay focused.
Okay.
And that advice is for me. The 10th district, all right, was an open seat when Jody Hice ran for Secretary of State.
Yeah.
All right. Now, in the 10th district, there was about 9 candidates that ran for that seat. 9, including former Congressman Paul Brown.
Yes.
All right. Now, about 9 candidates, and some very good candidates, ran for that seat. Mike Collins won. Had to go to a runoff, but he won. There was 9 opponents. Now, put that on the shelf in the 10th district for now. Go down to the 1st district. Right now, the 1st district of Georgia, Buddy Carter's running for U.S. Senate. And don't count Buddy Carter out, and I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
Buddy Carter's running for U.S. Senate. Okay. So that leaves the 1st district open. There's James Kingston. It's Jim Kingston's son.
Yeah. I know.
Okay. He's running, and that's the former congressman there. But if you go down there and look in the 1st district, there's about 9 candidates running for office. Okay. Now go over here to the 14th district where Marjorie Taylor Greene is not running for office.
Yeah.
There's about 22 candidates.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Now, wait a minute. Now let's go back to the 10th district. State Representative Houston Gaines over in Athens is unopposed. Unopposed.
Yep.
Now, and he has like $1.4 million in the bank with no opponents. Now, he happens to be attached to the hip of none other than Brian Kemp.
Yep.
He happens to be in Athens, where Brian Kemp and Marty Kemp are from and live.
Yep.
So my words, Mr. Governor, and the haters out there, did my words, my opinion, just a thought, did Governor Kemp buy his own congressman to go to D.C.? Now I'm going to tell you something, Noreen. When Andrew Clyde ran for the 9th district, there was about 10 or 12 candidates.
Yeah.
You cannot go back and find the last congressional open seat in Georgia that only had 1 candidate and no one else but Houston Gaines. Then you flip over and Brian Kemp has a senator that he's trying to get to Washington, D.C. by the name of Derek Dooley.
Oh, we won't go there. Oh, my
All right. So that's one thing. I'm tired of these people controlling who gets to go to Atlanta. I'm tired of these people making a power grab over you and I. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am. I'm just tired of that. And this is not attacking. Everything I said is factual. You can look it all up. And I'm tired of that. There's not one person, I'm going to look right at the camera, that's going to watch this that doesn't know the truth. If they will look at their state representative or their state senator, they will say, John Burns decided who was going to be my representative. Brian Kemp decided who was going to be my state senator. Trust me, I'm tired of that. Now, here's my concern that I also want to get out. And this is a chart, and this is a chart that I have here. In 2002, I want to keep this in mind, and this is all for those out there that are going to be arguing. This is fact. In 2002, Democrats held the governor's office, the state senate, and the House. They had all three. That's the last year that they had all three. Now, in 2003, Sonny Perdue became governor, and the state senate went Republican. It wasn't until 2005, Republicans took control of the governor, Senate, and House in Georgia. Now, the reason I bring that up is if you look at the chart from 2005 to 2026, Republicans have controlled all three chambers in the state of Georgia. You know what that means? Anything and everything the voters are concerned about, we own it.
Yeah.
We own it. Now, this is not where I'm knocking Republicans, but we own it. It's very easy for anyone to go out there right now and say, this year, when a Republican says this year, we're going to do something about your property tax, which I'm going to tell you that's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
This year, we're going to really reduce your income tax. This year, we're going to do this. This year, we're going to do this. It's easy for someone out there to look and say, but you've been in control for 20 years.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do it in 2019? Why didn't you do it in 2016? Why didn't you do it in 2021? So the first and foremost, we have to understand and look at every single issue, every single one that people are concerned about, we own it, which puts Republicans in a position they have to explain.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I agree with so many of them that say, well, that's not accurate. And Democrats are saying this, and that's not really true. That's correct. But what Democrats are doing right now is they're saying it, they're getting to say it, and the Republicans have no choice but to respond and explain. See what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, the current membership of the state senate, there's two vacancies right now. Actually, it's 23 Democrats we started and 31 Republicans. Now, you have State Senate District 53, Colton Moore, and you have the one from John Kennedy down in Macon that's in a runoff. But keep in mind, today, Republicans have, and they probably will have 34, but right now they have 32 seats in the state Senate. Now, the reason that's important, right, is in 2002, they had 30. In 2004, they had 34. In 2012 through 16, they went all the way up to 38.
Okay.
Now they're back in 2025 with 32. You see, when they flipped the chamber, they had 30. They're back to 32.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Wrong direction. Totally wrong direction.
Yep.
Now, what is the cause of that? Let me get you the House.
Okay.
Now, in the Georgia State House, 79 Democrats, 98 Republicans. We'll stick with the Republicans. 98 Republicans started the 2026 legislative session in the House. Okay? Now, let's look at the House by year. In 2004, Republicans flipped the House and ended up with 94.
Okay.
That was in 2004. They only got 98 right now.
Wow.
Okay. Now, in 2014, in 2012, we went to 119 Republican state House members. 2014, we went to 120.
No.
2016, we started dropping off to 118. Okay. Now we are down to, in 2026, according to this document, we started 2026 with 98.
Wrong.
Now, as the kids say, are you picking up when I'm laying down?
Yep.
Okay. You got to understand, we started the session with 98. We flipped it in 04 with 94. We were at our peak in 2014 with 20. Wrong direction.
Yeah.
We've lost, with 98 means what, 22 seats?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just doing some really quick math here, right? Now, let me give you the scary part. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, bring it on.
All right. So, I don't think I'm putting this out there in any way whatsoever that even the silent ones are agreeing with or concerned. We retained the governor's mansion in 2018 with a couple things. In 2018, we still have a very strong presence of Republicans. Now, in 2018, Brian Kemp, and I got to keep this in mind because, you know, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to filter through what you're posting. You're posting a very big, this is going to be large, and there's going to be a lot of people filter through this. Okay?
Okay.
In 2018, Brian Kemp, now don't get upset, but I got to pull you out here. Brian Kemp had your support in 2018.
Yeah.
He had my support.
Yeah.
He had Donald Trump's support.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We backed him. We put out signs for him.
Yes, we did.
We rallied for him, right?
Yep.
So he had that lane. Remember, he had that lane. That's that 30% lane that I call it. We were behind Brian Kemp all the way in 2018.
All the way.
Okay. Now, the other Republicans, he had the core of Republicans behind him. He only beat Stacey Abrams, is it 45 or 50,000? We'll go with 50,000. In 2018, Republicans only won with Donald Trump's endorsement.
Yep.
Okay. our support
Yeah.
and Republicans across the state. He only beat Stacey Abrams, this black lady. I'm not going to get into anything else, but only beat her by 50,000 votes. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Democrats feel they're in position. Hold on, Democrats feel they're in position to win this time. They really do. They feel they're strong enough to win because we have, what do we have? We have Burt Jones.
Yeah.
Burt Jones. There's a lot of talk he can't win the general election. He does not have the support of some groups. We have Chris Carr.
Oh, Lord, no.
Well, okay, there you go. We've got Brad Raffensperger.
Nope, no to Ratburger. Nope.
And we've got Clark Dean, the guy with 2 first names. I guess he's a very nice guy, but we don't know much about him. Guess what? Democrats are fired up about their candidates.
Oh, yeah.
They are. They're fired up about their candidates. And what if Jeff Duncan gets the nomination? How many of our so-called Republicans will vote for Jeff Duncan? It's going to happen. So that being said, let me say this. Let's throw this scenario. The reason I am sounding the alarm.
Okay.
Let's throw this scenario out here that one, a Democrat wins the governor's mansion. Okay.
Very
it could
possible.
happen.
Very, very possible.
Now, and let's say about 5 or 6 Republicans win their office for state house by 1.5%, 0.5%, or 2%. It's out there. Now, so he or she wins the office in 2026. Then in 2 years, the governor calls in, or not even 2 years, the governor calls in these Republicans, a half dozen or maybe more, calls them in his office, gives them a nice cup of coffee, a Danish. You want anything else? It says, you won your district by only 1.5%. And when it comes to the next election, I will still be the governor. And you know what? As governor, I've got this leadership pack.
Yep.
I mean, what's wrong with us? I mean, seriously, what is wrong with us? I'll tell you what's wrong with us is political careers, personal gratification, self-enrichment, and to hell with the people.
That's exactly
Period.
right. Exactly.
Period. Okay? Because right now, gotta keep in mind, if something happens, all right, watch how dirty this is. If something happens, a Democrat wins in November, are they going to call a special session and go in and end the leadership pacts?
I would say not.
Oh, I think they'll try to. And I think when they do, the governor-elect and the Democrats and the Democrat National Committee will come rushing in with all the money they need and say, no.
Yeah.
You can't do that. We're going to take you to court. Now, you could challenge anything.
Yeah.
And you see, Chris Carr and others, it's happened, has taken the leadership pacts to court, not over trying to end them, but they've been in court and they've been upheld in the Supreme Court. So let me get back to my scenario. So you got a Democrat governor calls these 6 or 7 Republicans in and says, if all 7 of you will flip the Democrat, I think you would make a great chair of the Transportation Committee.
Mm-hmm.
This is all coming down the road. Now, what we're doing today is a time capsule. We'll have to get this out if the Democrat wins the governor's office and play it later. But this is a scenario. This is definitely a scenario that has me concerned and needs to fire up the Republicans now. Like, okay, stop the bleeding, stop everything. Let's get this ship turned around while there's still time. I'm sounding the alarm, because what happens is you got a governor, maybe Estevez, calls that Republican in and says, you only won by 1.2%, and I am the governor, and I will be the governor for 2 more years after your next election. So we can do one or two things here. Here's what we can do. This is what scares a politician, and it's not you and I, the voter. Here's what scares the daylights out of a politician. So here's what I can do. I can support you, but not as a Republican in the race financially. Or what I could do is I could take the leadership pack and I could put a candidate up against you that's so well funded, you won't know which way to turn. Now, what's it going to be, right?
Yeah, they're going to cave, of course.
So my second thing is, not only could we have a Democrat governor, we could have seats flip just like this, a coin toss, not because of an election, because somebody said to me the other day, I told them this, and they said to me, Noreen, they said, well, what about the Republican values? Well, you think they'll go against their Republican values? I say, first of all, you've lost your mind if you think they have Republican values in the first place.
Exactly.
They will have newfound Democrat values. It's called money and power.
Yep.
So I have showed this graph. I will go anywhere and show the graph. And the reason I do this is not, I promise you, it's not to attack Republicans at all. It's to say, because you know why we keep going down? It's because, and we keep losing seats. It's because the power, privilege, and personal gain of these people, evil, selfish people that do not do the best thing for you and I, the people in Georgia.
Nope.
They enrich themselves. It's a political career, and they're only moving up the ladder at whose expense they could care less. And what I'm getting to is the only reason we've held seats so far, and you and I could do another podcast on this, the only reason we've held seats thus far is because of new lines they draw to keep the power.
Yep.
You got to keep this in mind in the 2030 census. That's why we got to go long term. Okay? In the 2030 census, in the 2020 census, we were in court 4 or 5 years trying to get our lines. We were such a mess with judges and the court to try to get our lines complete. You remember?
Yeah.
Because Republicans, again, they don't want to hear it. The leadership in Republican Party were down under the old Gold Dome behind closed doors, and they know it's true. And they were in a panic, Noreen. I know, I look you right in the eye. They were in a panic because they had to start carving and adjusting to try to get these districts to where Republicans maintain control, right? Yep. Republicans maintain control, and at the same time, get it through the court system. That's why you have the new 7th district that you're in, is to carve out enough Republicans, and get it through the court system. And you know why we have to carve that out? Because of a couple things. In 2020, don't forget, Republicans told us We were the #1 place in the United States to do business.
Yeah.
For how many years? 12 years running. You know what that equals? You know what that translates into? We've been one of the #1 states in the United States to import Democrats.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I want economic growth. I do. But we've imported Democrats. And now we're shifting them all around Atlanta and Metro into Cobb. Look at the districts now in Cobb, that Republican districts that have flipped to Democrat.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to give you one more thing on that. 2030. All right. And this is a speech I will give in every 159 counties. Every Republican Party needs to get their head out of their sand, quit cowtailing to the people that say you're not allowed to talk to him.
Yeah.
All right. Quit being in fear of somebody coming in and attacking them. And we need to get this truth, right? We need to get this truth out before it's too late. And we lose our majorities, and we lose our state to the Democrats, and we lose our state completely to data centers and Korea, South Korea. We need to do it now. And the last thing I'll say on that, don't forget, in 2030, there's another census. And don't forget, you know, Donald Trump tried on the 2020 census to get the citizenship question, and the Supreme Court of the United States took it off.
Yeah.
Don't forget that, people. And let me tell you why that's important. Because our founding fathers did say, count who is here.
Right.
And it's not clear. The founding fathers did not say in the Constitution, count the citizens. They wanted to know everybody on the continent. Lower 48, Alaska, Samoan, whatever, Virgin Island, Puerto Rico. But they wanted to know everyone in America. So the citizenship question got kicked off. My guess is the citizenship question will get kicked off to 2030. Now, let's settle on, I've heard 15 million, I've heard 20, I've heard 50, I've heard 30. Let's settle on 20 million people came in this country, right?
Yeah.
Let's settle on 20 million. And let's settle on only 2 million illegals are in Georgia. Now, they'll cringe at that, but that's I guarantee, okay?
Yeah.
So let's settle on 2 million illegals are in Georgia. And let's say we're going to count those 2 million in 2030. And let's say the average congressional district is 750,000 people.
Okay.
Guess what? That equals 2.5 congressional districts.
Yeah.
And you know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to get that little knife out, and we're going to have to start carving. We're going to have to start carving out of the 9th and carving out of the 7th and carving out of the 11th and the 14th and the 1st district, right? We're going to have to start carving out because to try to maintain Republican control.
Yep.
And if we do not just man up, or woman up, or whatever you want to say, and have this discussion now, we are a party of extinction in 5 years.
Wow.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am a fiscal conservative, and I'm gonna leave it there for a minute because I got one more thing, and I appreciate our time together, and it makes sure we have enough time. We got to have a little small talk. So if we had enough time to close, but this is on AI.
Yeah.
Georgia State budget. Anyone out there, you can AI this, boom, right now, and you're going to get what I have on my screen from 2020 to 2026. 2020 to 2026.
Okay.
Not the new one coming out. The Georgia state budget has increased $10 billion.
What for?
Well, inflation, you know.
Oh, yeah, right.
No, I'm serious. And we continually, all right, let me get this. When you say what for, let's see if I have this really quickly. I had it here. I had it here the other day. I can't pull it up that quick. We continue to fund education.
Okay.
Continue to fund education. And just anyhow, it's gone up $10 billion. $10 billion. Now, property tax is not going away, folks.
No, it's
Do not fall for the political stunt of property tax. All right. So I keep hearing, and I'm not going to bring up names right now, but I keep hearing some of these candidates running for office, and they keep standing up and they are talking about the Georgia State Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me just put this in the picture for him. The Georgia State Senate. Now, they've had control with the House and the governor for how many years now? And the Georgia State Senate, they'll put out a magazine cover and they will all backslap each other that this is the number one place to do business and raise a family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a graphic here. It's called Reignite the American Dream. Well, wait a minute. This is the Georgia State Senate. I got it. It says Georgia Senate Republicans reignite the American dream. Well, wait a minute. You've had the place for 20 years. You've been the number one place to do business for 12 years. You're the number one place to raise a family, according to you. Why would you now have to reignite the American dream? Didn't you have a chance to do that? So here it is. Cost of living.
Mm-hmm.
Keep more of what you earn with continued state income tax rates. Stop skyrocketing local property tax bills by capping home valuations. Now, let me just say this to you, okay? I mean, I've got oceanfront property in Arizona, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, we passed a constitutional amendment by 63% that said we're going to cap home evaluations based on the rate, based on the rate of inflation. It could not go past the rate of inflation. All right. Now, I'm not saying that's a perfect bill.
No.
But guess what?
Yeah.
We passed it. 63% of the voters said yes.
Yep. Then
they turned around and said we didn't understand it. But 63% said yes, we passed it. But guess what they did? These people that say they're going to handle it now, they gave the Georgia State Municipal Association, meaning your cities, the lobbyists, the ACCG, the commissioners, the State School Board Association, all those lobbyists went in and fought it. Why? Because increased property tax, increased valuations, increases in their pocket.
Yeah. And
they fought it. So what did that bill do? It gave them all an option to opt out.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah, they did.
And now you think we believe you're going to do. Here's what's going to happen. Put this on your notes.
Gotcha.
Okay. Anything they do that caps property tax and all this here, all they're going to do is give the counties the Board of Education, the cities, a chance to pass another splost. Because if you cut property tax, you've got commissioners, you've got commissioners, you've got first responders, you've got the sheriff, you've got that group sweating. You've got the school system sweating. You've got the city sweating. And they're down there with their lobbyists. They're lobbyists because they all have lobbyists. They're down there with their lobbyists. And they're saying, hey, you can't take $5 million out of this district and $5 million out. Don't worry. We'll give them a chance to put a splost on the ballot. And what will we do? We'll give the voters the opportunity to decide. Well, wait a minute. The voters decided by 63% last year, and you didn't care what we thought. So what they're going to do, they're going to give you another splost, and they're going to say, let the voters decide. Now, what will they do? They'll put the election in an off year like April in an off year. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And then there's low turnout, and those few people decide everything.
Exactly. And another splost. Now, the one thing that I have pushed, and I've told them, Noreen, I will not accept in any way whatsoever, shifting when all right, so I'm not asking you. You understand? So don't answer this.
Okay.
I am a couple years out. We'll leave it at that. Before I could take advantage of senior exemptions. All right. I'm not there right now. Okay. But I lived in a county that exempted seniors on school tax. That seems great. On the face, that seems like a major reward to our senior citizens. But I watched it firsthand what happens. If the school board will just use a number, if the school system says they want 20 million and the senior exemption is in the value of 5 million for ease of calculation here, the school system did not cut their budget to 15 million. They kept it at 20 million and they shifted the 5 million over to me. And people my age paid it because school system, they say you could take you could take school tax away from seniors. That doesn't mean we're going to alter our budget.
No.
So we'll just have to shift our millage rate to the point where, Brian, you haven't had kids in school. This one, even the parents with kids in school, we're going to shift the burden to you. You see what I'm saying? So any politician that's out there saying, well, there should never be a senior citizen that pays property tax after they've worked their whole life and people cheer and that's great. That's great. Because I asked a candidate the other day, and I'm going to give you the name and we'll just go here and we could do it on a different day. But I was somewhere and I was respectful because I never go to any place and not be respectful to these people. I don't.
Exactly.
Greg Dolezal was at a meeting and I went there and I went up to him and I talked to him and I said, now look, Greg, he's running for lieutenant governor. I said, it sounds good to stand up and say that our seniors should not have to work their entire life and have to be burdened with property tax, and they should get an exemption. Greg, that sounds great. I said, but what are you guys going to do to prevent these people from shifting the tax burden over to me and the other families instead of, it's time the government take a cut. Diane, I'm used to saying Diane. I'm sorry, Noreen, but let me say this, and I do have to run, and I want to save some time for small talk if you want to.
Sure.
But let me say this. AI. Look, the data centers,
Yep.
artificial intelligence.
Yep.
Elon Musk is saying that within 3 years, AI will be the dominant source of operations.
Yep.
He says within 3 years,
Yep.
it's possible that everybody have their own personal robot. I'm serious. This is coming. Now, here's what's getting ready to happen. And there's certain people I like to talk to. We're not discussing anything. Politicians are not discussing anything because they're afraid of it.
Yep.
And they're afraid. So what you're watching in Minnesota right now
Mm-hmm.
is what I call civil unrest training.
Yep.
Okay. It's civil unrest training. And I'll tell you why. We can get into that deeper on a different day. But I'll tell you why, because civil unrest is coming. And it's coming nationally.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
And let me just say this. We don't need, and I'm not saying that I just mimic every single thing that Elon Musk says. But Elon Musk said, we're not even going to need schools. We're not, because you won't need a classroom to learn to become an engineer. You won't even need to become an engineer. It will all be done for us. So this goes into depth. So we don't even discuss this. We don't have to put the money into these big, massive, multi-million-dollar grade schools, campuses. We build a school to last 100 years, and we don't need it. You don't need all of these big, massive schools. And you don't need all this money injected. And sadly, which I love teachers, looking in it right now, I love teachers.
Yep. Yeah.
But in the future, the investment in teachers, it's not going to be there. Now, the reason I bring this up is our lawmakers do not talk about it nowhere.
Mm-mm.
And you know what they say we're going to need schools for?
What?
Social reasons.
Social reasons?
Yes. And you know why?
Yes.
Because you remember that thing called social emotional learning?
Yeah.
They're altering our children to live, and they're going to live in the next phase of mankind, period. They really are. Because what's going to happen is your children won't need a math class. They won't. Now, I'm not saying none of them will learn math. They won't need trigonometry. Okay.
Yeah.
Doctors, it takes 8 years to become a doctor. That's after you graduate, the 4 years. I think you got another 7.
Yeah.
And look at the cost and look at how much time and the shortage we have, right?
Yeah.
So this being said, what will the kids need? They'll need to socialize.
Yeah.
They'll need to socialize. And the schools will be there for behavioral development.
Wow.
Not educational development. You get it?
Yeah.
It's just a fact. It's a fact. They're afraid of it. I've read so many articles. There's 2 things I love to do. I love to read. I love to write. Well, 3, I love to study, which goes with the read. I love that. And I read a lot of high-tech articles that are putting out. And I read one the other day. People don't like it, but I read one the other day from a liberal, what people consider a liberal publication the other day. And it's not that I support this liberal publication, but I do know I have a headline here a minute ago. It's called Behind the Curtain, the AI, the Job Replacement AI Machine. A new report from Goldman Sachs Research warns AI can potentially automate tasks that account for 25% of all work hours in the United States. Right now, it's ready to do that. Okay.
Wow.
You remember all the fight? Don't you remember? I thought you remember when Steve Bannon was going to destroy Elon Musk?
Yep.
Somehow Elon made it through.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
We'll just leave it at that. Remember what the big fight was over? H-1B visas.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Well, see, Noreen, it's all a stunt. Every bit of that stuff is all rehearsed stunts because top tech leaders are talking privately about losing interest in H-1B visas. You know why?
Why?
We will have AI and robots, autonomous robots, take the place of H-1B visas.
Okay.
We won't need to bring people in.
Because the robots will be there to do everything.
There you go. Now, there's a company called Mercor. I got to get out, but I love. There's a company called Mercor. All right, and they're a San Francisco startup, and they're already valuated at $10 billion.
Wow.
And you know what they do?
What?
You can go on their website, Mercor, and you can get paid because what you can do is you can go on there and you tell them your profession, no matter your construction, no matter what it is, and they will pay you to share all your knowledge about what you do with them.
Wow.
And it goes into an AI program, and what you're doing is helping train AI for your job.
Wow.
Yes, go there and look it up. I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
That's crazy.
Most people, you go look this up.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of people in offices now will tell you, when I say majority,
Yeah.
that they're in there actually training their AI replacement.
Oh my goodness.
Because every time you hear this call is being recorded for training purposes, or you hear someone typing everything in,
yep,
insurance companies, whatever it may be, that data is all getting dumped into AI, where eventually that person that answered that phone or is handling that for you will no longer be needed.
I do not like that.
Let me give you one more ahead. Pointless to go to medical school except for social reasons. That's what's going to be, social reasons. And
wow.
Wait a minute, there was something here. Well, anyhow, in this article, it discusses how politicians won't talk about it. They won't. So, you know, what I've told people, when you get these politicians in front of you, and you know, there's a lady, I know for God know how long, Noreen, I know this lady for God know how long, and she works at a small insurance company. She's been there 20 years, this small insurance company, and she's a claims adjuster at a small insurance company. And there's about 17 people that work there. Okay. And she's been there 17 years. So let's say something happens, your house, your car, whatever, you and you call, she's answering the phone. All right.
Okay.
So, and I had a conversation with this lady one day. She called me. She doesn't live in Georgia. She lives in another state. So these people that answer the phone, every single thing on the claim is being downloaded into AI.
Wow.
And what they're doing is their AI is learning every scenario of every claim. Oh, a tree just came down, hit the side of my house. And it was windy.
Yeah.
So this individual said, I am training my replacement, because what the insurance company has already told us is we will probably go from 17 to 4.
Wow.
And all of the calls will be answered with AI.
Ugh.
If something happens that your claim gets into a scenario that confuses AI or they're not quite ready for, they'll switch you over to talk to a live person.
Right.
And then that live person, that scenario will then go into AI for next time. They're learning. Now we have autonomous robots and we have autonomous AI now. And as soon as quantum computing gets up to the speed it needs to be, they teach themselves. So and what I'm saying is, you know, when a politician stands up in front of you and says, hey, if you vote for me, I'm going to keep boys out of girls' sports.
Yeah.
Okay, good, great. That's God-given.
I know, right?
I mean, okay, that's great. All right. What are you going to do when we all lose our jobs to AI?
Yeah.
Where are we going to live? How are we going to pay our rent? How are we going to buy our groceries? Where's our paycheck coming from?
Yeah.
Start asking those questions to these politicians, because this is not 10 years away. This is next year. This is the year after. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
I'm done. I can't believe you got me this fired up. So ask any question. I'm like, ask any question.
Well, how are you doing? What are you doing now besides going around telling people about 2026 and everything?
Well, I can't say nothing because, you know, I can't say I'm doing nothing. There's several other things going on.
Yeah.
I did not just take the month of December off. I'm not taking the month of January off. I will tell you this. My wife, when I say push, and I'm very thankful because I feel like, if I'm not at what I call the Resolute desk here in the morning, that I'm not doing something. And all jokes aside, I started cutting grass when I was 8 years old, and my wife knows my background and my family knows it. And my wife has said, look, if you take a little time here, she said, you've worked since you were a kid.
Yeah.
You've always worked since you were a kid, and just take a little time here. Quit putting this kind of pressure on yourself. And here's what I want. This is very factual. Okay. You know, I don't get invited to the tuxedo parties and the backslapping parties. I don't get invited to those. All right. And I see everybody on there, and they put up nice pictures on Facebook. I really do. My dad, and I've said this, you've heard me in speeches before. My dad, lifelong Republican. He was a delegate to 3 national conventions in his life. My mom and my dad always went to the national convention. My dad was in the Republican Party his whole life. And God rest his soul, Noreen, he would want me to sound the alarm. Yeah. And he just would. He would want me to sound the alarm because, you know, I've had people say, why are you still in the Republican Party? Well, all jokes aside, because I know my good friend here watches college football, I really can't get get in the transfer portal because that would be to Democrats, and God knows they couldn't pay me enough, and I said that on recording, so I couldn't get in the transfer portal. And I have had people ask me, say, after being voted out as first vice chair, after being ostracized, Laureen, they call people and tell them, don't speak to this guy.
I know.
But why? Because I would come to your Republican Party and say, come on, Republicans, wake up. It's time now to save our ship. Or we're going to be extinct in 5 years. Look at the direction.
Yeah.
Who talks about it? Who talks about it? I mean, okay, you know what? And this is not a negative. I will hear, we've got a turn out the vote thing with Turning Point. Okay, great. Who's getting our message out? Are we going to be limited government? Are we going to reduce, bureaucracy in our counties? I mean, serious, are we? Are we going to quit building $70 million football stadiums for high schools and $100 million high schools? I mean, are we going to shrink this down for our children?
I don't
know. But you talk about that, and man, they cut you off immediately.
Yeah.
So that being said, I've had people ask me, why would you still be in the Republican Party? What do you mean? I've never left the Republican Party. I am a Republican, and my dad would want me to sound the alarm. And anyone, have you heard me tonight really just personally attack anyone?
Absolutely not.
No, I'm looking at the majority in the party and where we're headed. So I am every single day, I'm talking to candidates. Candidates call me every day, different ones. They're not allowed to tell people in public. They're not allowed to. If they are found out, they speak to me, they get in trouble. I'm doing podcasts like yourself. I've given a couple speeches.
Yeah.
I've been offered to speak somewhere in March. Anyone that'll have me, I'll be glad to go there. I'm following the 14th district. I plan in February, which you're going to blink your eyes and it's there. Yeah. I plan to start doing 8 to 10 minute little videos like this.
Yeah.
And push them out. And you may see 2 or 3 of those a day. So I might not be on the air for 3 straight hours. I may not be on the air. And look, if you take what I was doing, it cost money.
Of course.
It costs money. And because I will not carry anyone's water and I'm not a grifter.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been offered deals in the past, and it's been a long time ago. No one offers me a deal now because they know I won't carry their water.
Exactly.
I had someone, I'll give you one example. I had someone that was donating to the program $1,000 a month.
Wow.
And that's just a tip of what we need. That's just a tip of what we need. But as soon as, and I let them know, and I let anybody know, I get people that donate still $25 a month to help me get the word out. And I let people know, you can't buy a narrative. How many times you heard that on my show? You can't buy a narrative, and you can't.
Absolutely not.
And guess what? When this one donor said, well, I think it'd be nice if you talked about this. And I politely said, but that's not what this show is about. Well, maybe people would want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And I said nicely, I told you can't buy a narrative on the show. And that was the last time I got a check for $1,000.
Well,
So anyhow, that being said, I'm not out. I'm trying to do everything I can to turn the ship on the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do me any good to waste my time talking about Josh McCoon. It doesn't do me any good. I mean, I know Josh McCoon. We know Josh McCoon. It doesn't do me any good to talk about the ones that
Nope.
keep in mind, these people are more interested in their personal gain and their political careers and enriching themselves
Yep.
than saving our country.
Absolutely. There's a lot of them down at the Capitol that feel that way too. I mean, money and power are the root of evil, and money buys elections. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, just look at Dooley and Kemp, how much he's putting in and pushing him.
See, I said that earlier, and you said, oh, don't bring that up.
Well, that one just makes me so mad because he's pushing it so hard. Oh, look at that.
I got my Stockton to hell. This is the only bad word I've used in almost 2 hours. To hell with you and your damn Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
Folks, you just have to know when it's college football season. This is one of my favorite college football buddies. I go right. I see that Roll Tide. I get right on there, and we go at it. So
yeah, we do.
So my son Gunnar Stockton. I got several, but this is my jersey he got me for Christmas. So
oh, that's so sweet.
They're ruining college football. Noreen, here's the thing.
Yep.
Is billionaires. Everybody keeps talking about how did Indiana do this? How did Indiana do this? Billionaires that can't buy an NFL team,
right,
have now bought a college team. Yep. Mark Cuban you might as well call Mark Cuban the owner of the Indiana Hoosiers. I mean, it's billionaires now that are buying these college teams, putting the money in, telling the coaches, go into the transfer portal and spend all you want.
Yeah.
They are. And that being said, I mean, it's just really ruining it. I'd love to see the young men get paid for their likeness. I would like to see that. Yes. But, if the coach rubs them the wrong way on Monday, they shouldn't be able to go in the portal on Tuesday and quit.
Nope.
And, there's got to be something. And you got these college guys that are, why go into the draft when you can make more on the college turf than you can as a rookie in the NFL?
Exactly. The NIL has ruined college football.
Well, actually, what we have now is we have professional football every day. That's bottom line. I mean, college is now professional football.
Yeah.
NFL is professional football. So we have professional football every single day. And but Roll Tide, are you from Alabama? I mean, I've never asked. Are you from there?
No, we lived in Alabama for a while. My husband's from Alabama.
I got it now. Now I'm putting 2 and 2 together.
No, I'm from Minnesota, but I never liked the Vikings. I like Seattle.
So I have a dilemma.
Okay.
I don't have a dilemma this weekend. So for those out there, go ahead and I am pulling for the Patriots Sunday.
Okay.
No matter, even though I like Sean Payton, and although he's hurt, and I do like Bo Nix, it'll be a cold day somewhere before I ever look at a Bronco uniform or a game and like it. And I will tell you this, Children's out there for another day, is because the way they treated Dan Reeves and stabbed him in the back, John Elway and Mike Shanahan. So anyhow, there'll never be a day that I cheer for the Broncos. So, and I do like Drake May. I like Mike Vrabel when he was on defense with the Pats. Okay. They're just good football players. I'm going to go with the Pats. Okay. Then on the other side, Never going against Matt Stafford. I am Matt Stafford all the way. He's a classic guy. He's a gutsy football player. He was gutsy at Georgia.
Yeah.
They love him in Detroit. They still claim him.
I know.
Yes, my family, my Michigan family up there, they still claim him. Yes, they do. So anyhow, I'm going with the Rams. So now my problem will be Super Bowl Sunday. So that will be, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I don't mean to keep you. I know you're busy. You know, we're talking of this. We're talking in storm. We don't know what's going on with the storm. So I'm getting ready to get off here. I don't know when you're going to air this, but we're actually talking. We're getting ready to this, the mega storm.
And
and I'm getting ready to get off here.
Yep.
And I'm going to cook everything in the house. Everything in the house. Going to cook it all, get it ready. I've got the gas grill on the back porch. If I've got to go out there, we're ready, man. Water. So I'm getting ready to go cook everything in the house. Do that little bit of prep.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll all get through the storm together.
Yep. Yep. It's going to be cold. That's for sure. But the ice, no fun. But yeah, I cooked a ham this morning, and I'm going to start painting my kitchen cabinet. So I'm going to take time and do that when there's nothing to really do.
Last but not least, you asked me what I'm doing right now. Now, I think you know this. And first of all, I want to thank my wife for always supporting me. And I mean, always supporting me. And I can't say how much I appreciate it. And I can't do what I do here without that support. But that being said, I say this nicely. I really do. I'm putting this out there in a nice way. But I think the world would be a much better place if there were more dogs and less people. Now, that was just as loving as I can be, because let me tell you something. I'm not retired, but if I could get out here and sit on my back porch with my 3 dogs.
With your cigar.
I was going to throw that in there. I would never leave. My dogs, my dogs and my back porch. And so anyhow, that's, I love my dogs.
Yes, you do.
We do have a cat. Don't want people to think out there that I am anti-cat. We have a cat. Mitten's kitten is on the front porch. So we have a cat. But yes, I would sit here with my dogs. And if my wife had her way about it, we'd have more than 3 dogs.
Well, you're in the country. You can have as many as you want.
You got to feed them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, 50-pound bag of dog food is not cheap.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to pick your limit. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Any other questions?
No, I just let you know what I'm doing. I am with a couple of friends. We're starting a super PAC called Mega Buzz Super PAC, and we're going to try to raise money to help candidates do whatever they need to be done. See if we can get some over the finish line and not put all these swamp donkeys down at the Capitol.
Well, here's the thing. We talk about it. When I talked about it earlier, and we can go deeper on another subject.
Oh yeah.
I mean, at a different time, but I talked about the finance and the money in Noreen, in politics, but I have to tell you, we want rid of the establishment.
We do.
Well, wait a minute. Then a candidate comes in place, and we cheer, but we don't give them any money.
Yes.
We don't.
No, we don't.
And we know good and well. I will get candidates call me. I like what you're doing, and I just want to say this to help promote what you're doing. And I'll just put it like this. You guys should vet your candidates.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Make sure they're conservatives.
Yeah.
They understand the what the word representative means. And the list goes on.
Yep.
But I'll have candidates call me, say they're going to run. And like I said earlier, well, do you have $50,000? No. But I'll tell you what, I got the backing of this group and I got the backing of this person. And I know this person's going to support me. And not to mention no names, I'll say, yeah, you know what? Everybody you just named in every group, they're not going to give you any money.
No.
You're not getting any money. And you can go here's the thing, Noreen, and I've had people say, well, what you're doing is asking us to go establishment. I'm really not. I'm just going with the truth. If we don't get out of our circle, we don't win. And I was in a group the other night and I said to the group, I said, how many registered voters in this county? And they said 25,000. Okay. I said, well, for argument's sake, let's say we've got 50 people in the room tonight. We had a great audience, 50 people in the room tonight. You got 25,000 voters.
Mm-hmm.
I said, that means 24,950 are out there.
Yep. Yep.
And we get in the circle.
Yep.
And that's just a fact. We can't win unless we realize 24,950 are out there and get out of the circle. I've had people say, well, are you trying to tell us that we need to go establishment? No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You can get your message out, but you got to realize you got to get out of these rooms.
Yeah.
That you find to be comfortable and go talk to people. So I'm glad of what you're doing, and I'm glad you're doing this, and I support you all the way, and I appreciate you. You've I don't like to use the word fighter, but you have been engaged. There you go. You have been engaged in the patriot side of politics for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you really have. And my wife and I can speak for her. We both appreciate you. We appreciate the hard work. And how is your super PAC going?
Well, we're getting it started, so we'll see. But that's what we're wanting to do, is get donations and help people that need the money, that are very conservative. I will be the one vetting them, so they have to pass my test.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, listen, I've missed 2 phone calls and I've got to start my cooking. No. Where you're concerned and the camera, I enjoy a good camera. I mean, I haven't been accused of enjoying the camera before. And where you're concerned, I'd stay and talk all day. I hope what we did today was informational.
It was great. It was wonderful. And I want to do it again. And I want to thank you for agreeing to come on Liberty Line, the podcast. And we're going to get this thing edited and get it out so you can share it to everybody. And maybe we can wake some people up.
Well, let me do this before we close. Folks out there, I still have, you've heard me say, I still have the show phone. This is the show phone.
Yeah.
So I read everything I can. I want you to continue to text me, send me articles, whatever. Don't hesitate. Don't think, well, he's not on the air. I read everything I can get my hands on, and you can always text me. That's 706 889 9700. 706-889-9700. I still have the show phone. You can email me, bkp@bkppolitics.com, and I'd love to hear from you. And we are still, I know we're not on the air, but we're still taking donations. We have a donation button. And what is that for? That's for what I'm doing today, the research I do to help me fund going out and talking to groups. If you have a group out there that, if you have a group out there that you want me to talk to, just let me know. I won't charge you $18,000 for a private jet like Steve Bannon in the Georgia Republican Party. Yeah. So I'm not charging $18,000 for a private jet like the Republican Party paid. But a little bit of money, gas, a sandwich, and enough money to buy a cheap cigar from time to time.
Absolutely.
Please continue to help us. Noreen, thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it more than you know. And we will be in touch again. And you have a safe day, weekend. Keep warm and enjoy your food.
Thanks a lot, Noreen.
Okay, bye. I am Noreen, Liberty Line. We want to thank Brian Pritchard for coming on and talking to us. Stay tuned for some more coming with Liberty Line. I am Fireball, Noreen Cantor, and we're going to have some more enjoyable podcasts. If you want to be on my podcast, just reach out to me and I'll be glad to talk to you, and we'll see what we can do. But everybody, stay warm, stay safe in this Ice-Mageddon that we are getting. Thank you.
Inside cold halls, but on this shore